I'm Lauri Flaquer of Soltar Solutions, and I'm here today on Focus Forward, and I am going to talk about how you can get on the air. Now, people ask me this all the time. In fact, somebody just asked me this again yesterday, and while I was walking my dog a little while ago, I thought, you know what? It's time for me to answer that question. So the first thing I want to say is I have a background in television in New York at NBC, CNBC, and Bloomberg LP. And I was in production, and I came from the inside of television to understand exactly how those shows were sculpted, and what were the systems that were being used. And also I worked with very well-known talent and kind of learned the way that they did things, which was really good because they're very, very good at television. Traditional television was very, very difficult to get into before. It was difficult for people to be able to be guests, to be hosts. They had to have years of training, journalism degrees, and there were all different types of hurdles that had to be jumped through to be on television. Those times have changed. They are, for traditional television, yes, it's probably still the same. However, to be guests on television, very, very different environment. You no longer have to have, many letters behind your name. You don't have to have the degrees. You don't have to be sanctioned anymore by traditional media to get on the air. So we'll talk a little bit today about how I've done it. Now, there's probably many different ways to go about doing it. I just know the way that I've done it that's worked really well for me. And I'm going to break it down into simple steps that you can use, 7 simple steps that you can use. And the first thing I want to explain is the power of technology. We need to seize the power of technology. Technology is the key to just about everything anymore. And a lot of times people tell me, well, I don't know how to use technology. The scary truth is it's no longer an option. You have to learn to use technology. If you're planning to be in business for the next 3 to 5 years and you're not learning what's new in technology right now, you're going to have a difficult time keeping up. And even those people that are learning constantly are having a hard time keeping up. However, the thing is that with a little bit of effort, you may be able to latch onto the new thing that's coming out and leap ahead of us. So don't worry that you haven't maybe been keeping up as much as other people out there. You might not know how to do this or how to do that, or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. As long as you are trying hard to keep up, you may be able to grab that new thing and become an early adapter and become somebody that the rest of us are envious over because you understand it so well. So it's important to think about and get to become comfortable and familiar with technology. The other thing is really learn to maximize the platforms like Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. Those things are still free. They're probably not going to be free in the future, but they're free. And people are making a name for themselves utilizing those platforms. So it's a good idea for you to start utilizing those platforms as well and try to learn as much as you can about them. That will allow you to be able to potentially adapt to the newer thing that's coming along. Plus, you're expanding your audience, which is huge because in television, in order for you to get the airtime you want and to have somebody paying attention to you on the air, it's important that you blast that out there and have as many eyes on it as possible. So for me, technology is both fascinating and frightening. The fascinating part is I'm always thinking, what's the new thing that's coming up? How are they coming up with it? How are they thinking about it? What's it going to do? What's it going to do for us? Who's it going to be addressing? And then there's that terrifying part of like, wow, I haven't even maximized the technology I have right here at my fingertips, and they're going to be coming out with something new. And I haven't leveraged that. So how am I going to keep up? It's important to keep asking yourself, what are you doing today to keep up and to prepare yourself for the technology of tomorrow? That stuff that's coming along. Gary Vaynerchuk is great at telling us about this. He says, you know, you spend at least 20 minutes a week and looking at what those new apps are. Check out what's going on. Watch when you see 13, 14, 12-year-olds, whatever, looking at technology, looking at things. What are they looking at? Try to be an early adapter to those things, and that will help. So now I'm going to share with you kind of my road to television. And you might want to grab a pen and paper and see if you can jot these down. My 7 steps to getting on the air. First of all, be comfortable in front of the camera. One of the only ways I know for someone who is not an absolute natural is practice. You need to give yourself a lot of time, practice, and patience. When my son was involved with NASCAR and he was involved in racing, he said to me, seat time is really important. And I'm like, seat time? Yes, that time behind the wheel when you're actually driving. And it's the same thing for technology. It's this time here when you have that button pressed and you're broadcasting. That is what's going to help you to get better at, actually, it's the seat time. The time that you're here broadcasting, that's what's going to help. Learn technology enough to host your own show on social media. Create a YouTube channel. Very, very important. We can't use Google Hangouts on air unless we have a YouTube channel. So that's a component that is a foundational component that everybody needs who's going to use Google Hangout on air. Now, I don't know about Blab. A lot of people are using Blab. Google Hangout on air works really well for me. So I haven't launched into learning it yet because this is, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And right now I'm using this and it's working for me. If it wasn't working, I'd learn a new platform. But maybe you want to do Blab because your friends are doing Blab, whatever. You may need a YouTube channel for that. In any event, you're going to need a YouTube channel to broadcast your videos. So either get a YouTube channel, learn how to do it yourself, or maybe you know somebody who can do it for you. But absolutely get that YouTube channel. And then start doing shows. It doesn't matter what platform you're using or what distribution. It's important that you actually do it. And on YouTube, you can keep it private or unlisted, so you're not broadcasting bad stuff out there to the world, or you're not afraid of doing that. This way, it gives you like a safety net, like a trapeze artist has. So you can keep your stuff private or unlisted, so don't worry about it. Just go for it. Think about what the premise of your show actually would be. Now, my show is geared towards entrepreneurs. I want to help entrepreneurs have that edge so they can move forward, so they can run their business more effectively. The other thing about entrepreneurs is I know most entrepreneurs are pretty lonely. We're working on our own, creating businesses. We often will come up with these innovative ideas. Sometimes in a vacuum, we don't know if they're great ideas. We don't know if they're really going to fly. Having an opportunity to tune into someone's YouTube channel to see if that idea is out there, maybe contact them, put together a group. But this way, it's easier for you to get information. So this is why I created my show, to give information to entrepreneurs, to motivate them, to celebrate them, to make it fun for them, and also to give them an opportunity to learn things that they might not afford to be able to hire consultants to do. So I make sure that there's always give back on my show. I always pay people back for their actual time of watching. So that's the premise of my show. I know who the audience is. I know what they're lacking, because I'm an entrepreneur and I spend my life talking to entrepreneurs, and also it's my opportunity to give back. So try to think of the premise of your show, who your audience is, why are you reaching that audience? Why are you trying to reach them? And what are you trying to give them? And how are you trying to give that to them? Are you trying to entertain? Are you trying to enlighten? Are you informing? Do you have a controversial topic and you want people to be knowledgeable and to be aware of it? This is a great opportunity to do that. It's a perfect platform. And the next tip is professional branding is very important. That is going to give your show the look and the feel that you want people to have when they come on and they view. Also, it's going to give you credibility. So when you start trying to get guests, they'll go on and they'll look and they'll say, oh, she's got it together because she has music, she has her professional logo, she has her, intro, the outro, all of that. It's important that you have the professional brand that goes along with it for your TV show. And then start hosting your TV show. I mean, that's the most important step in this, is to start hosting. Getting to feel comfortable, getting the flow of the show. If you're having guests on, understanding how to interview those guests, coming up with kind of the time that they're speaking, the time that you're speaking, being able to develop your topic in a short period of time. It all takes a level of skill. So it's important that you start hosting your own show, then start having guests. When you feel comfortable enough with your show, start inviting guests to be on your show. And one of the ways that I go about doing that is I pre-interview my guests, and that way I have a better understanding of what they're going to talk about, what they want to get out of the show, what they have to give to my audience, and that way I'm able to navigate the show more easily. Some people will provide you 10 questions that they want you to ask them during the interview. I don't do that. I speak more extemporaneous, but a lot of people will provide you that. One of the things I don't like about that is your show could seem a little canned. After the person has delivered that same answer many, many times, it could come across almost as too rehearsed. So I like to keep them on their toes, and I like to be on my toes myself and kind of take my show like a conversation. So the audience is listening, and I'm asking the questions that some of those audience members may be coming up with. That way my show is fun and it's exciting and it's kind of lively. So that's why I do my show like that. But you can run your show any way you want. And then market and promote your show in as many of your social media avenues and distribution outlets as possible, and recommend that your guests do that as well. As you start getting more well-known guests, use them almost as bait to get higher level guests. Higher level guests have expanded audiences looking at your show, and then when your call to action says subscribe, like, comment, then you can bring in more people, and that's expanding your reach. And you're expanding your reach through already existing groups. So that's a good idea to do that. Rather than go out and find people one by one, you're getting into people that may speak with thousands of people each week, and maybe even more than that. Like, I have a client that speaks to over 2,000 people a week through her radio shows, and now sometimes she's on, I know right now she's on TV, so sometimes she's on TV as well. Expanded audience. When I have her on my show, my audience reach is a lot more. So it's really about reaching out, bringing more people in, and inviting them to stay, and giving them something valuable while they're there. So in conclusion, give it time, have patience, don't get discouraged, and keep doing it. How many times should you put your shows out there? As often as you possibly can. Be offering quality material to your audience. So if you can do something once every 3 weeks, once a week, once a day, excellent. Once a day is going to give you more views, because the algorithms of YouTube and Google will pick it up more. The more shows you produce, the more they'll pick it up. The higher your algorithms, or the algorithms are, that are going to pick you up and pull you in. And always use keywords for your shows, so when people are Googling that topic, they can come in and they can see your shows. And also, when you start having more and more shows and you're doing your shows on a specific topic, create a little playlist And then people, when they come on and they watch one show, will naturally go to the next and the next and the next, which will increase your views. So there it is. There it is. If you have any questions, contact me. Please do me a favor. Leave a comment below. Share, like, let me know what you're thinking, and I would love it if you would subscribe. That would be awesome. So that's it for me today. Lauri Flaquer, Soul Touch Solutions. I'm a business consultant. If you need business help, branding help, marketing, or also media, give me a call. I'm here. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye now.